fighting from birth, where each day is a new challenge in the savannah. In this documentary, we will explore the tactics and strategies of some of the most fascinating protagonists. Predators like lions and crocodiles face off against large animals like elephants and rhinos, engaging in territorial battles, fights for hierarchy and food, as they struggle to survive each day in the wild African savannah. Without further ado, let's begin. Herbivores are often seen as defenseless prey in the animal kingdom, but the reality is very different. Some of them, like elephants and rhinos, can be just as deadly as the most feared predators. Our first encounter takes place on the African plains, where an enraged elephant faces off against an adult buffalo. The elephant, weighing 5 tons, lifts the buffalo with its trunk and slams it to the ground with tremendous force. This act demonstrates that this trunk giant, when threatened or irritated, can be far more dangerous than an entire pride of lions. Elephants are not only the largest land animals on the planet, but they also possess an impressive combination of physical strength and intelligence. Their tusks, which can reach up to 2 meters in length, can pierce through other animals as if they were paper. Their trunk can crush, and their enormous feet can shatter their opponents. This confrontation is a reminder that, although they are herbivores, their power should not be underestimated. And here, these wild dogs didn't make a good decision, and they're about to find out. When it comes to protecting their young, elephants become true warriors. A pack of African wild dogs, famous for their group hunting strategies, surrounds an elephant and her calf. Although the dogs try to distract her, the elephant quickly realizes their intentions and charges. With incredible speed for her size, which can exceed 40 kilometers per hour, the elephant charges at the dogs, using them like projectiles. The predators, seeing her ferocity and determination, choose to retreat. This example not only shows the physical strength of elephants, but also their ability to understand tactics and defend their young with courage and strategy. Elephants aren't the only ones capable of asserting themselves in the animal kingdom. The rhinoceros, with its armored body and formidable horn, is another herbivore that poses a great threat. In a spectacular confrontation, a buffalo decides to take on a rhinoceros, probably to protect its group or to prove its bravery. However, it's going to wish it hadn't crossed paths with this wild tank. Although both animals are impressively strong, the rhinoceros has a clear advantage. Weighing up to 3 tons, it can knock down its opponent and use its sharp horn to inflict fatal wounds. The buffalo, despite its courage, is unable to compete with the crushing power of its opponent. The rhinoceros is an animal that, although its diet consists of shrubs and grass, is armed like a predator. Its horn, which can measure up to 80 centimeters, is used with lethal precision. With a single charge, it can pierce an opponent's abdomen or neck, causing devastating injuries. Unlike other animals, the rhinoceros doesn't rely on speed or hunting strategies. It simply charges with all its mass and brute strength. This makes it a true machine of destruction when it feels threatened or agitated. Despite its incredible strength, the rhinoceros has a significant weakness: its poor vision. This enormous animal struggles to distinguish objects at a distance and often attacks instinctively when it perceives movement nearby. At times, this can lead it to attack animals or people who pose no real threat. However, once it perceives a nearby threat, the rhinoceros reacts with surprising speed and aggression. This combination of blind strength and aggression makes it a very dangerous adversary. However, not all battles are won with brute force. At times, smaller animals like antelopes manage to outsmart the rhinoceros thanks to their agility and intelligence. Even though the antelope is 15 times lighter than the rhinoceros, it knows how to use its speed to its advantage. The agile antelope is much smaller, but full of cunning. The rhinoceros advances, sure of its victory. But the antelope doesn't back down. The giant pauses, puzzled, as the antelope stands its ground. The key to its success is keeping the rhinoceros close enough that it can't gain momentum for a devastating attack. The antelope blocks the rhinoceros's movements, attacking from angles where its horns can't reach. This strategy of wearing it down confuses the giant, who, despite its strength, can't always dominate when facing clever opponents. Sometimes, cunning is the most powerful weapon in nature, and thus the antelope escapes unharmed after an intense struggle with an animal 20 times its weight. What bravery! In the savannah, lions are the undisputed kings of hunting, and when they find a seemingly vulnerable rhinoceros surrounded by mud, they see a golden opportunity. To the lions, this gigantic herbivore appears trapped and probably injured. However, what the lions don't know is that the rhinoceros isn't weakened, it's simply enjoying a mud bath to cool off. Sensing danger, the rhinoceros slowly rises, calmly assessing the situation. The lions begin to close in, ready for the final attack. But what seemed like easy prey turns out to be a fatal mistake. With surprising speed, the rhinoceros charges. A single blow from the rhinoceros is enough to scatter the lions in all directions. Even if they try to climb onto its back, the thick hide of the rhinoceros, capable of growing up to 5 centimeters thick, is impenetrable, and its enormous horns make it a lethal threat to any feline that gets too close. After a brief but intense confrontation, the lions flee, having learned a lesson they won't soon forget. The rhinoceros is no easy prey, and attacking this giant of the savannah can have fatal consequences. Few species dare challenge its dominance, and those who do so at their own risk. This wild horse, driven by territorial instinct, decides to challenge a camel, a much taller and more resilient animal. The horse, furious and confident in its strength, charges at the camel head-on, attempting to knock it down. However, the camel, accustomed to the harsh desert conditions and with a calmer nature, anticipates the move. Just before impact, the horse halts, baffled by the camel's stoic attitude, which doesn't respond with violence. Instead of attacking, the camel looks at it disdainfully, letting out a deep guttural sound, as if scolding the horse for its recklessness. The scene is almost comical, evoking the image of a domestic argument where the wiser one simply chooses not to engage in the fight. Later, the focus shifts to the intense African wildlife, where the big cats, the ultimate hunters, patrol in search of their next meal. In this case, a pair of young lions, still inexperienced in the art of hunting, set their sights on an unusual prey, a young hippopotamus. Despite its age, the hippo already weighs about 1/4 of a ton, and although powerful, the lions lack the experience to easily handle such a large animal. The young lions attack the hippo, pouncing on it with force, but their inexperience makes them prone to mistakes. The hippo resists, showing its strength, but the predator's numerical advantage begins to tip the scales in their favor. Just when it seems the lions have secured their meal for the next few days, the situation drastically changes. The hippo's mother, not far away, hears her calf's cries and rushes to the scene with incredible speed. Despite her massive size, she charges like a runaway train at the young lions. Her attack is relentless, and the lions, knowing they stand no chance against an adult, are forced to retreat quickly. With her thick skin and powerful muscles, the hippo is nearly invulnerable to the felines. The mother manages to drive away the lions, protecting her calf, and once again proving that hippos can be extremely dangerous when threatened. Later, it's observed that despite being herbivores, hippos possess one of the most powerful bites in the entire animal kingdom. An adult hippo, when facing another predator, uses its colossal jaws not just for defense, but to literally crush its enemy's bones. Its ability to generate incredible pressure with its jaws is a surprising adaptation for an animal that primarily eats vegetation. In nature, even the most peaceful animals must be prepared for battle. The next scene of wild survival occurs near a river, where the calm waters hide the dangers lurking below. A crocodile, one of the most stealthy water predators, focuses on a hippo calf that has been momentarily left unattended by its mother. The reptile slowly glides towards the young one, its eyes barely visible above the water's surface, calculating the perfect moment to strike. However, the mother hippo is aware of the danger, and before the crocodile can launch its attack, she confronts it brutally. Her massive size and fury make her an impossible threat to ignore. The crocodile, faced with the magnitude of its opponent, retreats without resistance. But the story doesn't end there. A lioness, who had also been watching the calf from a distance, sees a new opportunity while the mother deals with the crocodile and decides to join the fray. With agility and stealth, the lioness moves towards the calf, hoping to take advantage of the chaos for a quick and easy meal. However, the mother hippo, alert to every detail, charges again, this time at the lioness, who barely manages to dodge the attack. The immense animal creates waves in the water as she charges, and the lioness, realizing she has no chance, decides to retreat. This mother is a true warrior, willing to give everything for her calf, and with wild strength and determination, she drives away the danger and manages to live another day. An experienced adult male lion plans a calculated attack. His target is a gazelle feeding unsuspectingly near a swamp. The lion knows he can't compete with the gazelle's speed on open ground, so he decides to use the swamp to his advantage. He strategically hides, waiting for the right moment to scare the gazelle and force it to run into the water, where it will get stuck in the mud. The lion's plan seems perfect. The gazelle falls into the trap, getting stuck in the bog. However, a hippo that was nearby, irritated by the presence of both animals in its territory, aggressively intervenes. Although it may seem like it's protecting the gazelle, the hippo is simply defending its home. Hippos are known for being extremely territorial, and in this case, it wasn't going to allow any intruder to stay near its comfort zone. The lion, baffled by the unexpected intervention, retreats, while the gazelle struggles to free itself from the swamp. But it can't match the speed of the hippo in its own habitat and ends up becoming its prey. The hippo attacks with its enormous bite, tossing the gazelle into the air like a small turtle, ending its life. Thus, African nature continues to show its complexity and harshness, where strength, intelligence, and the survival instinct are intertwined in a constant cycle of life and death. If you liked the video, I invite you to share it and subscribe to continue seeing more wild content. Remember that it is free and helps us continue creating this quality content. Greetings, lovers of wild nature, and see you in the next video.